Everybody to our next séance, which will be a very interesting wine tasting together with some explanations. Jean-Luc Favarel, the topic will be Vinifying in 2022. I would say to introduce Jean-Luc Favarel in this World Bulk Wine Exhibition conference program is almost like bringing owls to Athens, because he really is part of this show. The Director of Research and Development at Le Matériel, Péra, Pellenc, coming from Gaillac in southwest France, has seen the vineyards and cellars of the entire world. And every year he shows us in Amsterdam the latest trends in viti and viniculture, always accompanied by a special tasting. I'm very curious, Jean-Luc, to see what you brought with you today. Thank you.
Well, hello. Thank you, everybody, for being there. May I just make a quick test? Who speak English, who speak Spanish, and who speak French? Okay. Alors, je continue en quoi? May I follow in French, or is it complicated? You don't understand French at all? Ouais? Okay, English, okay. So, yeah, it's going to be complicated. I apologize for my translators. Always. Yeah, we are talking about 2022, the absolute record years, because we know that we are just at the end of a very, very difficult season. And I would like my friends to give us the first wine, which is a nice illustration of what's happening today. We are going to taste 12 wines, and the focus is to see 2022 is a year of amazing things. And we saw that we have global warming and climates are changing. And so I just would like you to taste this first wine, which is a Chardonnay, coming from Belgium. Those vineyards are located more or less 50 kilometers eastern Lille. Lille is biggest city in the north of France. I mean, we are talking about Belgium, which something which was inconceivable, unthinkable 10 years ago. And today, luckily, they have a nice press because it's a Péra press, so it's working well. But it's a Chardonnay, 2021, aged in barrels, and this is the vineyard. The vineyard is located not far from the Mer du Nord, Northern Sea, and it works. Today it's working. So I think that we are, according to the global climate changes, we are in that direction of vineyards is going to go on northern latitude. That's happening as well. Vineyards moving from California to Oregon and Washington State, and on the other side, same thing, the western coast of USA. We have more and more vineyards. And I just want to say as well, we got lots of machines, pneumatic presses, harvesting machines, sorting tables, working in BC, in British Columbia, and in Ontario as well. So it's world is changing, and we have to do that, and that is a consequence of the global warming. So just a few words about this wine. It's a Chardonnay, 100% Chardonnay 2021. Okay, in my mind, it's very, how can I say, eucalyptus, menthol flavors, wood, because it's barrel fermented. But anyway, it's a thing. We feel the acidity, well balanced in the acidity in this wine. It's citric as well. And okay, but 10 years ago, we were unable to taste such a wine. That is the reason why I put it on the table, in order to illustrate what we are talking about. So just some few words about Pellenc, my company. So, Pellenc is making harvesting machine, pruning scissors, tools for the vineyards, and Pellenc so bought the Péra company 6-7 years ago in order to have a better offer in the cellars, equipment, machine, pneumatic presses, receptions, hoppers, and thermovinification, flash decanter. That is what we are going to talk a little bit later. 2020, the year of all the records. Second wine, is going to be Bergerac 2022, and that is a very interesting Sauvignon Blanc, because more or less we are with pH higher than total acidity. That's amazing for us. We are not used about that. I mean, it's due to the warm temperature we had. Sauvignon Blanc, it has been very, very critical to make Sauvignon Blanc in south of France, because of the too warm temperature, low malic acid contains, lot of potassium. So I apologize for this wine. It's quite nice. It's okay, but we feel that it is lacking of a little bit of peps. I mean, it's you need to be okay. You need to have a little bit more efficiency, and that is due to all the high temperature we had in France, and for us, the summer has been very hot, and we are 2 degrees Celsius higher than the beginning of the 20th century. And we won 2.3 Celsius in the last 10 years. So such a wine with low acidity. This one has been picked by night, inertization at the harvesting, pressing with our presses, cold settling, and age on lees. Just carry on. The climate is changing, and we are now on the way to have more or less no more winter, or it's very quite high temperature during winter, and mainly biggest problem is in March, where at this time the vineyards start growing, and when it starts too early, then we might have frost. That is what we had in France this year, once again, as 2021. Luckily for us, it was not global frost, but it was mainly located in Gascogne, in the Gascogne area. It's the Armagnac area, south of France. And the pity is that this area of France is a reservoir of white wines and white aromatic Colombard, white aromatic Sauvignon Blanc. So we lost them, and we lost more or less 70% of them, because that's the numbers today. They lost more or less 70% of the harvest during this cold temperature. It was on the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th of April. I just go to taste it. Yeah, I just go to taste. So the other wine so it's number 3. 1, 2, 3. Number 3. It's a nice Sauvignon Blanc from an area who was not affected by the frost. It's in Val de Loire. So this is a Sauvignon Blanc from the Angers area, Val de Loire. Very nice as well. This one is pressed with Péra. We have sorting tables, inert pressing, and this one is quite has got peps. It's very interesting, quite interesting in the north, on the Sauvignon Blanc flavors, and the mouth is well balanced, and we have a nice product in that case. Donc voilà, ça c'est. I follow in French, just a few words. No, see, I follow in English. Sorry, it's easier like that. Yeah, so we and today it's a big problem in France because we have no more white wine, and everybody is looking for white and for aromatic whites. So in Angers, we are going to find good products. Angers, Val de Loire, they have no problems for selling wines. It's a nice area. We are more or less the unique vineyard in France selling wines. Otherwise, it's not easy. I wanted to say 2022 is in another record because of the global warming. Temperature are rising. We don't know if we are going to stay in the 1.5 Celsius increase or not, and it's going to be very, very complicated. As we can see in this map, that is data I got from internet, but in Cordoba, close to Montilla, in Andalusia, it was the highest temperature from Europe. It was 47.4. 47.4 in Europe, which is amazing. So very difficult for the white wine production. And same thing is la sécheresse, I don't know, the drought, that is, voilà, merci, the drought. We can see the drought of the second 10-day period of August from Europe. So we saw that all the Bordeaux area was affected with the drought, and northern Italy, and as well from all the central countries, Hungary, Bulgaria, and so on. Talking about the press, it's the fifth wine number 5. We are talking about Quattro Rayas, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, c'est le 4. Fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quatrième vin, wine number 4. Quattro Rayas, it's a nice Verdero. There we are talking about La Seca, Reda area, and this one is with quite old vineyards, manually picked, hand-picked, and then we have a full sorting table from Pellenc, which is very, very nice, and inert pressing under nitrogen. And it's a quite very nice Verdero. I enjoy you. I wish you to enjoy it on the booth of Quattro Rayas. We got a booth there on the fair, and this Verdero is quite nice. Donc en français, juste c'est un petit Verdero de Quattro Rayas qui a un stand ici sur la foire, et c'est des vinifications issues de vignes âgées de 50 ans ou plus, quoi. Donc il y a des belles matières avec des petits rendements. On parle de rendements entre 5 et 8 tonnes hectares maximum. Récolte de nuit, pressurage inerté, voilà, et tout ce qui permet d'avoir des belles qualités en termes de vinification, quoi. Il y a une très forte concentration, voilà, c'est un produit puissant. Fermentation en barrique, élevage en barrique sur lit. Donc voilà, barrel fermented, aged on barrels. It's quite nice. Well balanced on the acidity as well. I think it's around 12 or 13 euros per bottle in the cellar, which is okay. It's a nice product. Anyway. We were talking about our presses. So we did a new generation of pneumatic presses, just some few technical words. In fact, we have not anymore the draining system, the channels as draining system, but we put grids inside the press in order to allow us to have a much higher dejuicing area, and this press is very well for dejuicing. So more or less at the end of the filling of the press, we already have extracted 75–80% of the free run juices, which is an amazing quantity, and that allows us to take in charge the wines, the juice, earlier in the winemaking process, and we save, in that case, all the aromas and keep all the freshness of the wine. Donc c'est des nouvelles générations de pressoirs qui nous permettent de pouvoir égoutter davantage et d'avoir une meilleure extraction des jus pendant le remplissage, et qui nous permettent de sortir 70–80% des jus pendant le remplissage, ce qui fait que le temps de pressurage s'en trouve raccourci. On presse en gros en 1h15, 1h30, et on est capable de prendre en charge les jus plus précocement en cave, de façon à pouvoir les traiter précocement sans avoir à attendre les 3 heures de pressurage tel que ça a duré par le passé. On va goûter le rosé. We can taste now the rosé wine. Alors, I apologize, it was not filtered. I took it last week in Côte de Provence. This is coming from not far from Aix-en-Provence. We are 20 kilometers from Aix in Aiguille, which is a pretty nice city and nice cellar. It's a little bit on the reduction, but as well it's a lot of thiols in that one. We are talking about the lees, the cold lees after settling have been stored for 2 weeks. I'm talking about the lees, fresh lees before fermentation. So it's a maceration before fermentation, and then we clarify the lees and we blend them with the juice, and that allowed us to have a nice rosé. In my mind, okay, just after filtration, the color will be perfect. Now it is not okay, but I apologize about that. Anyway, the nose is quite nice. We are on the thiols, si on est sur les thiols là-dessus. That has been picked by night, as well, all the nitrogen injection and work against oxidation, then flotation, and then cold temperature fermentation. What we saw in the past with our in-gas system, which is from Péra, the system which allows us to inject nitrogen. With a protected system, rosé wines are plus clairs, less color, and less oxidation as well, versus classical winemaking. So it's quite in the target of what we are looking today. We are talking about 2022, very, very complicated years, because many of us have been affected by fires. And in Bordeaux, it has been critical, in Spain as well. So we have to work with that. Just first red wine, which is number wine number 6. We are talking about Gamay, 100% Gamay, made with thermo-vinification. This Gamay is coming from Vino Valley. It's a cooperative in which I belong to this cooperative, and I was manager of this COP 15 years ago. This Gamay is produced on very specific vineyards in which we have TRP, mechanical pruning. That means it's only 100% mechanical pruning. We have no work manually in that vineyard. That means we have very high yields. I'm talking about 18 to 20 tons per hectare in these cultivars, those cultivars. We have irrigation and fertirrigation, so we add fertilizers. It's going to be a problem today when we remember the price of urea, because urea is today 1,000 euro per ton, which is the third than it was 2 years ago. So we will have to adjust, but anyway, it works. And this product is 100% produced with thermo-vinification. When I am talking about thermo-vinification, I am just talking about this schedule of winemaking. I mean, we take the grapes, we process them through the distiller, then we store them just for a buffer, and then we eat them from 20 to 70. Let's say it's written 80 on the slide, but it's 70. So we keep them as maceration à chaud, hot temperature maceration, for a couple of hours. Then we make pneumatic pressing. Then we clarify the juices. And then we ferment in liquid phase. I mean, it's a fermentation without skins. We are making red wine as white wine. And what we are looking for is nice fruit flavors, no tannins, roundness, things easy to drink, easy to drink and nice. So the pity is that the price is too low in my mind because they don't pay me not enough. We're talking about more or less 3.5 euros per bottle. We are on the typical Gamay Nouveau, very similar than the Gamay Beaujolais, same flavors, roundness, nothing, no bitterness at all, no green, just roundness and think something easy to drink. So now some slides about our heating installation. We have 2 equipments for heating the grapes. We have lots of them in Spain, lots of them everywhere in the world. One is a dynamic exchanger, the blue one, which is a closed system with which allows us to heat up to 30 tons per hour. That means we have quite big installation, and people is always working with that. It's fully automatized. I mean, nobody needs to be here, and it works by itself. That is. And on the other side, we have the Gulf Stream. Gulf Stream is an open system, like Mississippi River. You remember the Mississippi River when the trees move from one point to the other by the flow of the liquid. And in the Gulf Stream equipment, we have we move the grapes from the entry of the system through the exit, only with hot juice. And during this travel, the grapes get warm, and we are able to warm up to 85, 90 Celsius. That is working very, very, very well. And if you go on top of the Gulf Stream, when you smell, it will smell the, how do you call that? Not the bouillabaisse, What is le plat qu'on fait avec des poivrons, de la tomate au mois d'août là, et des... Là, j'ai perdu le nom. Mesdames, s'il vous plaît, aidez-moi. La tomate, quand on fait cuire ensemble, tomate, poivron, un peu de céleri, c'est là. C'est pas la bouillabaisse, c'est là, bon, enfin, le mot reviendra, voilà. Okay, well, the idea is that we are taking off the green flavors, and that is the goal on what we are expecting. So today, our job is to make tools which helps the winemaker to products for today and for tomorrow, and to adapt the winemaking process to the grapes. Next one, so it should be number 7. It is number 7. It's Tempranillo. I apologize about that. It's a 2021. What is nice in that one is the total SO2 of this wine is lower than 10 milligram per liter because it has been without SO2. It's a totally without SO2 wine. It's a bobal coming from Villa Malea in La Manchuela. And anyway, for 2021 wine without SO2, it's quite nice. We are on the fruit. We are round. This wine is 100% flash détente and liquid fast fermentation. Fermentation without skins. Just a few words about the flash détente. Flash détente is a system in which we heat the grapes up to 75, 80, and then we push the grapes into a vacuum chamber. When I mean a vacuum chamber, if we put atmospheric pressure at 1 bar, we are at minus 0.95 bars of pressure under the vacuum. So it's a huge vacuum. And in this vacuum, what's happening is the water from the skins move immediately from liquid to steam. We vaporize the water from the skins of the grapes and we make steam. This steam is moving on top of the machine and is condensed through the condenser, and this water is always evacuated. We put it off because this water contains lot of green flavors, lots of pyrazine, lot of bad aromas. When you have when the ripeness of the grapes is blocked due to high temperature, that's allowed you to pick earlier without the total phenolic ripeness of the grapes. And we extract the compounds from the skins, and we take off the green flavors. So the wine from the bobal from Villa Malea, anyway, is quite nice. First, because of the color, and bobal is not known for making wine with such color. So it's quite nice. Wine number should be 8 is a Tempranillo from this year, coming from Valladolid. Sorry, coming from close to Valladolid, Finca Museum. So this Tempranillo has been processed through the flash. So you can see in this slide the thermovinification, the grapes, heating system, vacuum chamber, And, sorry, up. After the flash détente, we cool the grapes down to 22, 25 Celsius in order to go to ferment on skins as a traditional winemaking. And we keep the fermentation on skins for 2 weeks. At the end of the alcoholic fermentation, we rack the wine off. We blended the press in. And we got this quite nice Tempranillo, which is no green flavors, nice color. Well done. They enjoy it a lot in the cellar. So the other option after the flash détente is that one. I mean, after the flash, we go to the press and we make so liquid fast fermentation without skins. We are working worldwide today with this technology, and more people is looking freshness in the red wines, things with less tannins, much more easy to drink. So that's a change. We have to go in that direction in order to solve the problem of the red wines, because it shows that today we have a big problem with the red wines. Nobody wants them anymore. Next one, it's a Cabernet Franc, done with a new technology. We are thinking about that, and I will show you a small video. I will interrupt this video. FEP-JUC means fermentation en pellicule sur jus clarifié. That means we are making red wine, but we make flotation of the juice before fermenting. So more or less we are fermenting the red as a white wine. I just show you the video. I hope it will work. It's working. Ah, wonderful. No? Is it working? I hope. Yeah, so we did that, our trials we did. Okay, we receive the grapes. Okay, in that case, we got a sorting table. After the sorting table, we go through a system we are busy on, which is a fouloir crusher, but a new kind of crusher, able to press in a very good way and very efficiency. So you can see it. We have low distance between the two tambour. I don't know the English word for the tambour. From the cone, okay. And from there, we are pushing the grapes to a dejuicer, but a very efficient dejuicer. I mean, it's we are able to extract with this dejuicer 90% of the juice. You can see this is an experimental one. So we put the skins in the tank, in the fermenting tank, and on the other side, we are in La Bombe, we have many, tac, 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 tac. I don't know if we can go faster. No, we cannot go faster. No. So we start again. The video, okay, merci. Sorry. So I apologize for that. I wanted to, because the video is quite a little bit long. So, to show it again, we sorting the grapes. Apologize for that. But maybe at the same time we can taste the Cabernet Franc. Which is wine number 9. It's a Cabernet Franc from this year, 2022. It's coming from a vineyard in Bordeaux area. And they used to have very green wines rather than now. We are something very, very interesting. Very fresh, nice flavor. The mouth is clean. I mean, we have no bitterness. We have something which is much more fruity. And what we saw is after dejuicing, when you go to flotation, we separate 3-4% of lees, flotation lees, and when you can see the color of those lees, you say, I'd rather have that outside than inside. It's very, very interesting. So that's a trial we did in La Baume, in Grancher de France, Célard, close to Pézenas. Okay. Allez, come on. And we are very, very, very interested with this kind of wine, which is, you understand what I mean, eh? What we did? We crushed the grapes, we took off the juice, we floated the juice, and then we put back the juice on the skins to ferment as regular wine. But it was with clarified juice. I say it, je le dis en français. Hein, donc c'est foulage des raisins, extraction des jus. On sort 90% du jus à l'encuvage. Ce jus, il est flotté et on le réincorpore dans la cuve de départ après flottation. Et après flottation, donc on fait une fermentation sur jus clarifié, ce qui permet d'enlever tout le ciment pectique, toutes les pectines que l'on a dans le vin et d'avoir quelque chose qui est beaucoup plus fruité, beaucoup plus clair, quoi. Lo que estamos haciendo es una vinificación en vino tinto sin las borras, es decir, que sacamos el mosto, sacamos un 90% del mosto cuando cargamos la cuba. Este mosto se flota, botamos un 2-3% de borras antes de fermentar y hacemos la fermentación del conjunto de la piel del tinto con el mosto limpio. Y nos sale algo que es mucho más redondo, mucho más afrutado, nada de verde. Y en el tiempo ese anda bien. So we have big problem today. It's red wine sales. Nobody else wants red wine, and we have to change the way of production. One of them is taking off the alcohol. So the next two wines are Tanat, and we are busy, Péra, Pellenc, we are busy on de-alcoholization. The first one, it's a Tanat with close to 17% alcohol. And next one is the same tank, same wine, but we took off 3.5 alcohol off with our technology. I apologize, I cannot say that because we are on patent, we are still busy on that. But I would like you to taste the difference between those two wines. It's exactly the same tank. One, we cut it, we started fermenting. Then, in the middle of fermentation, we divided the tank in two. One part was kept like that, and the other one was de-alcoholized. And you can see the difference. One is more or less 17% alcohol, and the other one is 13.5. In my mind, we changed the profile of the wine, but at least we took off 3.5% alcohol, which make the wine much more drinkable. And we had the freshness in the wine. I'm talking about it's just out of the tank. I took them last week from the cellar where we did the trial. If some of you want to taste the underproduct, we do with that. The byproduct is alcohol. I got one bottle of this wonderful eau de vie, which is an aguardiente. I didn't put on the table because, okay, it can be, but we can taste it. I got the bottle. It's amazing, and for sure, today is very fashion to go on de-alcoholization down to 0.0. But I apologize. I think I'm going to be an alcohol addicted. And if you give me something 0.0, I won't be happy. But if you give me something with, less 3 or 4 less alcohol in the wine, I keep carry on in the same style. So I believe that we have a market in such a wine. And that's the result. I don't know if you enjoy it, but for me, we are making differences, and I think it's clever doing that at the step we are doing, because my key point is making de-alcoholization during fermentation and not after. Not on the wine, but during the fermentation. And we are using our tools, so that is quite nice. Just some other pictures from the flash détente. This one is in BC, in British Columbia. And as every year, when we process the flash détente in BC, British Columbia, it's always snowing. So we are processing under the snow, which is quite amazing. That's happening. And that is British Columbia. In order to give an answer to the market, we process flash détente with smaller units, 8 tons per hour. This is a mobile unit. And the idea for us is whatever the year, whatever the climate we have, whatever the quality of the grapes, we start to keep the consumer happy with the wines, and we start to answer the market on what he's looking for. So those are big flash détente installation we have. The one in the middle is coming from Air Wines from Chile. They are there on the fair. This one is flash détente from British Columbia. Okay, let's say, come on. In order to solve the problem of the wine market, red wine market, I don't know if we're in time. Today, the idea is to book other wines, and the latest you have is a Blanc de Noir. It's a sparkling Blanc de Noir coming from Val de Loire. That is, so it's bubbles, sparkling. And if we don't know what to do with our Merlot, another alternative could be to pick it earlier and make sparkling wine. So I think that's okay. That is another option. See you next week. It is not in Montpellier, it's in Bordeaux. And okay, we are in the bulk wine revolution. Thanks a lot. If you want some more information, details, or whatever, I am available for you. I have the eau de vie sample. If you want to taste it, we can take a wonderful grappa. And thanks a lot for your attention. If you have any questions, merci. Merci.
Can't find the hand microphones in a moment. Any questions to Jean-Luc? You told them everything. Very good. No, they're all waiting for the eau de vie.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And our last session will be at 16:15 today. It goes about bulk wine shipping, insurance, and other topics. Very interesting. Don't miss it. Thank you.